Okay, if you've not already printed out your formula sheet, please do so. It's on the wiki space. We're going to talk over the variance, standard deviation, and then the mean absolute deviation today. Tomorrow will be the z-score. The big thing that you need to know is the standard deviation is that theta. Okay, it's the O with attitude. I call it curly O. Variance is theta squared. And then the mean absolute deviation is just, it's crazy. We're going to talk about that one. Okay. Now, when you think of statistics, the first thing you should do is draw your bell curve. Okay? In the middle is the mean. Okay? We call it the mu. However, in your calculator, it's going to be x bar. Okay? But those are the exact same thing. All right. On either side of the mean is one standard deviation. Okay? So, you could say, hey, Miss Beck, I'm one standard deviation away from the mean. That's not necessarily a good thing. You could be below. However, you are one standard deviation away. Okay? Then there's also two standard deviations. So we go both ways. Over here, one, and over here, one. So now we have two standard deviations. And then the furthest they will take you is 3 deviations. Once again, though, the biggie here is standard deviation is always positive. That's huge. All right, it's always positive. Now, if we find the standard deviation, which we will be able to in our calculator, all we have to do to find variance is square it. That's it. So we take standard deviation, we square it. Bam. Now we got variance. All right? So let's go ahead and get started on a couple of them. Oh, wait. We have range, all that good. Here is a quick little review on some of your statistic words. There's the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. Okay? So the mean is the average, which means you add up all the numbers in the list and you divide by how many there are. So let's just use this list up here. 1, 4, 7, 3, 2. Okay? So the average means we add them all up and we divide by how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 numbers. Okay? So then 5, 12, 15, 17 divided by 5 would give me 17 divided by 5, 3.4. Oh, also in statistics, decimals are more than okay. So we're actually okay to have statistics. I know that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. All right, median is the middle number. Okay, remember we use this for box and whiskers only. All right, so we have to line them up, greatest to least. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So our middle number is 3. So our median is 3. The mode is the most, the one that occurs the most. In this particular example, a number does not repeat, so there would be no mode. If I added another 1 on there, the mode would be 1. And then the range is the maximum versus the minimum. So maximum minus the minimum. So I would take the largest number, which is 7, and subtract it by the smallest number, which is 1. So my range would be 6. Okay, let's actually get to the new stuff. All right, we're going to start off with finding the standard deviation first. So here's our list, 2, 0, 10, and 4. First thing that you should do, by now you should know when you get a list, you need to go to your stat plot, you need to edit, and we're going to clear everything out. Go down. Okay, so our first list is 2, 0, 10, and 4. We go to stat, calc, one variable statistics. All right, so our standard deviation is just the O with attitude. Boom, it's right here. Okay, we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth, which means 2 decimal places. So immediately, I know my standard deviation is 3.74. Okay, so I know my standard deviation is, what was it? 3.74. Okay, or you can just put 3.74. All right, my variance is equal to the theta squared. So I would put 3.74 squared, and I can just go ahead and do that in my calculator. So second quit, 3.74, square it, and I get 13.9876, which rounds up to 13.99. And then now we have to find the MAD. All right, so the first thing that you need to do is break down what MAD means. MAD means the M is the mean, the A is the absolute, and the D is the deviation. Okay, so we at least know mean and absolute. So what you need to do is you need to look at your calculator and you need to find what the mean is. Now remember, the mean is the average, which on our formula sheet is the U, the weird looking U, but in our calculator, it's the X bar right here. So that's the mean. So our mean is 4. So our mean is 4. I'm going to go ahead and just put our mean is 4. So now if we take each term or each element in our list, we now have to find the absolute, which means the absolute difference away. So 4 is 2 away from 2. It's 4 away from 0. It's 6 away from 10. And it's 0 away from 4 because that's its number. Okay, mean, absolute. This is where the mean comes in. I now add them all up. So 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12. And then it's all over the amounts that were in the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So my MAD is 3. Okay. In terms of your calculator, a way to check that, you go to your calculator, second quit. Okay. We first need to have the mean. So you can find the mean by going second stat, go over to math, and here's the mean. So the mean is 3. So there's the mean. Absolute math number. So the mean absolute, we need to find the first list. So second stat L1, okay, minus okay, the L1 minus what our average was. All right, so L1 minus what our average or our mean was, which in this example was 4. And now I just put enter, and boom, it's 3. So that's a way to check yourself. Okay, let's do the next one. All right, so the first thing we're going to find is we're just going to go ahead and put these all into our list. So go to your calculator, stat, edit, oops, clear. Okay, so 20, 25, 30, 31, and 20. Okay, go back to stat. We're going to calculate one variable statistics. All right, so let's just go ahead and jot down the important information that we need. They're important information. X bar was 25 point something. 25.2. Our standard deviation is right here, 4.71. 4.71. Okay, let's go ahead and find the variance, because the variance is 4.71 squared, which would give me, second quit, 4.71 squared, 22.18. Okay, and then now we got to find the MAD, which means we got a little bit of work. So we already found our average, so now we're going to take our average, and so 20, 25, 30, these are just our first numbers. We have to find the difference between the two, between our average, our mean. Okay, so 20 is 5.2 away from 25.2. It's 0.2 away from 25.2. This one is 4.8. This one would be 5.8. And then 20 is 5.2 away. Okay, I add them all up. 5.2 plus 0.2 plus 4.8 plus 5.8 plus 5.2 gives me 21.2, and that's all over. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers. So divide by 5, 4.24. So my MAD is 4.24. Okay, so let's go ahead and okay, actually, let's talk about this just for a second, because I know the standard deviation. All right, if you have your bell curve, our mean, which is our X bar, is 25.2. 25.2. So one standard deviation away, so the standard deviation is 4.71. So one standard deviation away, I would add 4.71 over here to give me 25.2 plus 4. Sorry, I already forgot what it was. 71? 4.7 plus 4.71. So I'm going to add 4.71, and that would give me 29.91. Define, so this is one standard deviation. Two standard deviations, I add another 4.71. So I would just add 4.71. That would give me, I'm getting like, it's 2 here. Well, let's go this. 34.62. And then to find the third standard deviation, because I can ask you, you know, what is 3 standard deviations away? So then I would add another 4.71, and it would be 39.33. So these are all the positives. We can also go negative. So one standard deviation, we would subtract 4.71. So 25.2 minus 4.71 would give us 20.49, and so forth. Minus 4.71 is 15.78, and then finally 3 standard deviations away, I subtract another 4.71, and that would be 11.07. So if I said what's the standard deviation, or between which numbers are within 3 standard deviations of the mean, you would take the negative and the positive, and you'd say in between 11. All right, so now here are your practice problems. Okay, so you're going to find the standard deviation, the MAD, and the variance for each set.